The murder of Annie Lee and the arrest of Raymond Clark III, it's such a mystery, and I'm trying to understand really what's going on here. I'm looking at three things: superiority, idiotic, and mental illness. I think this brother felt perhaps superior, and he shouldn't be cleaning the poop while she's doing the big research. His email to her, to Annie Lee, saying that he's upset with the condition of the cages. I mean, that was surely not necessarily appropriate, because she is not responsible for the defecation in the cages or the condition of the cage. She's just researching. I'm sure there are other people in the lab too that probably are of different race, but he just selected her to harass, maybe because she's small and light and, you know, Asiatic, whatever. And his behavior seemed to be very idiotic. He should understand that he's the only person, or he used his key, she used her key, he used his key after, and she never used her key again. It's like straight up they're gonna be looking at him. And there was no intelligent approach at covering up this case, and he looks as if he's mentally ill, because this is a returning theme. And I think that you find on many university campuses or educational campuses, the insane are there in a big way, because they feel as if they don't have what it takes, but perhaps a little degree is going to help to get whatever they wanted. And so, did he have sex with her because he hated her? And did he kill her first and then have raped her after? Or raped her and then kill her? Or while raping her, kill her? It seems as if probably he might have strangled her and then kill her. And taking saliva samples and hair sample and fingernail scrapings and so forth, and her fingernail scrapings show that the way they're taking this investigation, perhaps he kissed on her, salvitated her and all that stuff, and then if he had sex, it is not something seemed to be planned. It just happened. Of course he hated her, but this opportunity just presented itself, so he might never use a condom and so on. So that shows how kind of stupid this guy is. I think that what one needs to look at is crime. You could sit down and look at the crime and decide that, you know, I'm not going to go through with this. In fact, you shouldn't even want to do crime. But if something happens and you want to say, well, should I move on to this crime or should I not? Look at the situation. And in the lab, killing her, sticking her body in the wall or closing the ceiling, I mean, they just show this guy is elementary and idiotic. Again, crime is something that when you get involved in it, even the smartest guy will do dumb stuff and be caught, because cops normally do things when they're trained, and lawyers do stuff and they always getting caught. So it seems to me the best thing to do is to avoid crime. Now on the other hand, the police, they seem to have overkilled. They had him at the station, they did their research, they allowed him to go, they followed him, he went to this hotel, he checked in. I mean, there's no reason to suspect that he has weapons or is going to be a dangerous takedown. I mean, the most thing he could have had is a knife, because there's no way he could have had a gun or anything like that. So if he along the highway and all this big this and that, I think it was unnecessary. But I hope that we put this, you know, situation together and we could work together. When I came to America first in 1995, I was at the university in Michigan, and a brother from Panama was telling me, say, you know, when you're working out there, you can't tell people about your educational goals or your educational achievement, because they hate you and they could even hurt you. But I can understand that, because I felt this was America, and with all the educational institutions, education is no problem. In my country or overseas, where you have to be the top in society to go to university to get tertiary education, and it costs so much that you have to be rich, that it could be a problem there. But we're here, you have student loans and people, all scholarships and all money to stay in school, bursaries and all this stuff. I don't see why people will still have a problem. It could be, I mean, I've spent a lot of money in education, and some people want to have party and car and all this nice stuff and still have an education. You gotta choose, and I chose to get education. If somebody chooses to studying to do drugs and whatever and ended up with nothing, then they shouldn't come back now and hate somebody who has done differently. I mean, here's America, you have all the opportunities. So, but I am on this theme of mentally ill. We have to be able to somehow, some way, find a way to get mentally ill people their treatment and the medication and get them off of campuses, because giving them a whole bunch of education with the responsibilities that come along, they can't function. They get into government, they can't function, but they're gonna, if they're functioning, and they're gonna put the nation and their specific business at risk. So some way, somehow, these psychologists and psychiatrists, I mean, they're not God, and this is the impression they give people in the past. We could treat this, we could treat that. It's only God could treat some of these things, because these people are not only mentally ill, but they're evil. And these psychiatrists also are evil. So that what are they doing? They're just wasting time. We need to understand this and see how we really could find the effective treatment for folks. It's important.